a cautionary statement against Waziri on the two offenses, one under Section 317 of the Penal Code and another one under Section 23 of the Cyber Crimes Act. And then they told us they have not made up their mind whether there is any offenses disclosed. So we have had the CS released, and they have said if at all they require him, they will let us know. I want to state as a senior counsel and as somebody who has lived in this country for many years that since the times of James Gishuru, the first interior CS, I've never seen a CS who leaves office and then is summoned by junior officers 4 months after a transition. I've never seen a CS other than this one, the son of Omogusi, having police officers sent to his home and having his home broken into by the police. This is the first one since independence. I've also lived in this country and seen many transitions of government. I was here when Moi left office. I was in this country when Kibaki left office. And now I've seen what has happened after Uhuru Kenyatta has left office. We had many people when Kibaki took office who were alleged to be serious criminal suspects, like the late Biwott. But we never saw President Kibaki becoming vindictive and going after people like Biwott. The CS who was in office, then Minister, Sunkuli, he left office in 2002 and he has spent 22 years peacefully in Masai land. Nobody has ever touched Sunkuli. Now he's an MP in parliament. But because some people think Omogusi, we are so useless, they have come after our Dr. Matiang'I. We will not take this kindly as the Omogusi nation. President William Ruto campaigned on the platform that once he takes power, he will unite the country, he will not be vindictive, he will not go after people to harass them, but what we are seeing is different. And we have to state things as they are. We perceive this to be political persecution and harassment of the Omogusi nation. That's what is happening here. Because how come we have never seen the people who served under Uhuru Kenyatta? CS was not the only minister. If you are talking about the Interior Ministry, we had Honorable Kibisho, who was the PS. Nobody has gone after him. We had DCI Kinoti. We have not seen him being dragged to DCI. We have seen Mutembei. He has not been dragged to DCI. But the son of Omogusi is the one that they are seeking to humiliate. We are telling the president that that's bad politics, and that's not the way you run a country. So as the people from the Omogusi nation, as a lawyer, I want to urge the Director of Public Prosecution to remain professional, not to be intimidated by any political forces, and to be true to the oath of office that he took, to ensure that it's not used by anybody to start political persecution of certain individuals in this country. We want the law to be applied fairly to everybody. That's the point we want to emphasize this afternoon.
Senator, so, now with the two.
Yes, with?
Let's finish all the statements.
Yeah. So I think that's all I want to state for now. We are ready and willing to comply with any orders, if at all. Anytime the DCI wants the CS to appear here, we will be ready and willing to appear before the DCI if there are any issues that they need us to clarify. So we re-emphasize that Kenyans know that CS Matiang'I was the most hard-working CS. We know what he did in the education sector. We know what he did in the Interior Ministry. We urge the President of the day to look forward and not to look at his rear mirror. We now want the country to progress. We don't want witch hunt. So I want to invite Senior Counsel Tiende to make a comment, and then I invite my senator from Kisii, Honorable Nyonka, and then the MP for West Mogrango to speak.
Thank you. I'll be very brief because my colleague, Kongo Mugeniesi, has covered most areas. Let it just be emphasized first.
Can you just change position for the camera?
Let it be emphasized first that the Honorable Fred Matiang'I was summoned to appear at 9:30. But out of courtesy, he chose to appear earlier at 8 and had requested that they engage earlier because he had other church engagements. And the DCI had indicated that they would accept. So we got here at 8. Unfortunately, we were kept waiting until 9:30. That is when the DCI officials appeared. When they appeared, we thought that they would engage with us as per the summons. The summons was under Section 23 of the Computer and Cybercrimes Act. But when they started the engagement, we realized they were on a fishing expedition. They were not asking questions about Section 23 or about what was contained in the summons. They were asking Dr. Matiang'I everything about his life, where he lives, what property he has, what farming he has, and other things. So when we realized that they were on a fishing expedition, our client invoked his right under Article 49 not to respond to those questions that were not relevant to the summons. And therefore that engagement took all of just 15 minutes. So from 9:45, we asked them if therefore we could leave, and they told us we hold on. Essentially, we were held in those offices from 9:45 to just about now 5:15 for slightly over 9 hours. Essentially, the DCI detained Dr. Matiang'I and us as the lawyers for those many hours because we do not have the leave to leave. It is only much later that then now they came with the cautionary statements charging our client, saying they intend to charge him under Section 23 of the Computer Cybercrimes Act and Section 317 of the Penal Code. Let the point be made here, and we made it to them, that is clear that this was not a criminal investigation. This was vendetta and witch hunt. It is also clear that the DCI were not acting of their own motion. It is clear that they were awaiting instructions on what to do with Dr. Matiang'I. That is very clear to us, and we told them as much. Anyway, be it as it may, and this is my last point, we have now been held here with Dr. Matiang'I for all of 9 hours. Dr. Matiang'I, as a long-serving minister in various dockets, but lastly in interior, ought not to be treated the way they have treated him. He had been subjected to inhuman and degrading treatment of a person of his stature. Let this government know that when you think you are mistreating Dr. Matiang'I as a person, you are actually not mistreating him. You are lowering the standing of the office he held. And you are lowering the standing of our country, even in the eyes of foreigners. And you are therefore demonstrating to everyone that we are not a stable democracy. We are going towards a banana republic. And that will come to bite the very people who are trying to meet that on Dr. Matiang'I. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Why my stomach pains as a mother is because after elections, Kenyans, we made prayers. And the prayers we made, we were thanking God for a peaceful election. There was no bloodshed, there was nothing. If we look around here, the number of police officers that have been deployed here, they should be in Elgeyo Marakwet, Kerio Valley, taking care of Kenyans because there are bandits there. Now they are treating Waziri Matiang'I as a criminal. Yet, when the president took office, he said he's going to work with every Kenyan. He's not going to revenge. I'm standing here and waiting for the day we shall see that word from the president that he insisted he's going to treat all Kenyans equal But what we are seeing here today, it's like it's witch hunt, and they've started doing what should not be done in this republic. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Honorable Stephen Mogaka, MP for West Mugrango constituency and a member of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. I arrived at the DCI at 7 a.m. and I have witnessed injustice being visited upon a gentleman who has given up everything for Kenya. What he did for our education, we know. What he did for our ICT and digitization of communication, we know. What he has done for our security, we know. And then a person of this nature, with so much institutional memory, can be subjected to injustices of this magnitude. I want to thank the people of Gusii and the people of Kenya who have been fasting. Tulisema hata breakfast ikae, hata lunch ikae, mpaka Honorable Matiang'I atoke vile ametoka. Na tutapambana na an injustice, and Kenyans, let us not be cowed. An injustice to one Kenyan is an injustice to all of us. Let us all stand up. Media, I thank you for standing for justice.
I am a very happy guy. I just want
Move to
I want to say two things. Thing number one, I'm very happy to see Dr. Matiang'I being released from this place. I only have a message, and I want to give this message to the President of the Republic of Kenya. My friend, my brother William Ruto, you are now running a country. Be very careful how you manage this country. You go to church, we see you praying every Sunday, you say you're God's man. I know you don't believe in an eye for an eye. I beg you, those who responsibility has been given must carry themselves with even heavier responsibility. Mr. President, understand that you need to manage Kenyans as brothers and sisters. Dr. Fred Matiang'I for the Kisii nation is what you are to the Kalenjin nation. You touch Dr. Matiang'I, then you are in trouble in Kisii. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, members of the fourth estate. Wananchi power! Wananchi power! Wananchi power! Wananchi ria! We want to tell Kenya Kwanza government that from today onwards, we the Kisii community from Nairobi, we are going to defend Matiang'I with all our bodies, with all our knees, until he will be the president of this country. Wananchi power! We want to tell the Kenya Kwanza government, the legitimate government, that we are going to protect Matiang'I. We will escort him to his house. From today, we will be his soldiers. Thank you.
Wananchi mjambo. Mtulie kidogo. Thank you very much, members of the media. We are very, very grateful, first of all, that you have been here since morning. Since I'm the last speaker, on behalf of my brother, Dr. Fred Matiang'I, I want to thank you all, ladies and gentlemen of the press, for not giving up from morning. We've been here from 8 o'clock in the morning, but we can see your spirit has not been crushed. We know there are those who want to crush the media in this country, but you have sat here since morning to get to know the truth and the sad truth that is happening to our country today. We are saying they can crush Dr. Matiang'I, they can crush Wamalwa, they can crush Azimio, they can even crush Parliament of the Judiciary. but they must never crush the media, because you are the cornerstone of our democracy. You are the ones who tell the Kenyans the truth, and that is the message we want to give you here today. When we arrived here, Dr. Fred Matiang'I had been summoned